Why hello, Internet. Damagen here. Welcome back to my Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker Early Access playthrough. Just done another run of the Tower of Zot. Got myself... That's the wrong button. Got myself the helmet to go with it. Also managed to pick up quite a lot of different bits and pieces. I've got almost a full casting set already. But I've also got the Reaper's thing and the Sage's thing. And what does the Warrior's Axe look like? That looks... that looks pretty funky. Pretty funky. I haven't been able to pick up actually any of the armour. But, you know, there's more opportunities. I thought I'd get us back to the city before I finish playing around for the day. I'm organising my footage according to days, and obviously this one's been a bit faffy because of how I had to go and take a break in the middle of it. But my arms are starting to hurt again. You know, I'm still not right. The Jewel of Thavnair. Thancred is rested and ready to set out. Had enough rest, have you? You never were one for being idle. Right. Vashan bade us come to Magaduta at our earliest convenience. The others will join us there once they have finished tending to the prisoners. Ah, wait. On second thought, you and Estine should go on ahead. I need to make a quick detour by the Great Work. We left Graho in the Alchemist's cave, you see. Best to fetch him before he's crammed into a specimen jar. Just you and me, then. The guardsmen at the gate should wave us through. With the tower gone, I expect that the state of alert will be lifted. Ah, honoured scions, you are free to enter at your leisure. As I cannot leave my post, I'm afraid you must make your own way. Should you require directions in the city, the sentry stationed at the fountain atop the steps should be glad to assist you. So this is going to allow us to get into Radzat-Han properly. Though I have been to Radzat-Han before, this place is a veritable maze. Rather than risk getting lost, we had best ask for directions from this sentry at the fountain. Lead the way, and don't expect me to act as your tour guide like certain others. Estinian is now accompanying you. You can leave him behind if you want. Come with me, Estinian. One thing that I haven't seen yet is the sightseeing log. I'm wondering why we have not got one of those yet. Hello, attentive Radiant. Ah, Mistress Demagen, I presume. I understand you are here for an audience with the Satrap. If you require directions to Magaduta, I should be glad to provide them. The Satrap's residence is situated in Dharma, the highest part of Radzat-Han. To get there, I would ordinarily recommend a route that takes you by the bazaars in the city's north. Due to the state of alert, however, most businesses are currently closed and the Aetheryte disabled. As such, I will provide you with an alternative path. First, please ascend the steps next to this fountain, then continue left. There will be more steps, and upon ascending them you will emerge on Paksha's path. Proceed to the large door on the right, and you will arrive at Rivida Fibers. Within you will find another sentry who will give you further guidance. In other words, we head up. Sounds straightforward enough. And therefore, we immediately get distracted by the cool-looking elephant thing. Ah yes, I know about this portal. It leads to a nearby isle, the treasure vault of one of Radzat-Han's wealthiest families. They took the God of Luck for their guardian, on account of which they occasionally open up a section of their vaults, for aspiring treasure hunters to try their own luck, or so they say. There are also coffers hidden across the land that act as portals. Find one and you gain access to the vaults. Something to bear in mind in case you exhaust your funds while on the road. This is a troublesome experience, as I can personally attest. Yes, that's because you are terrible with money, mates. We have a map of Radzat-Han. Yes, we do. Right, they said the etherite was disabled, didn't they? Mind you, didn't we attune to this one when we were here? Or is this a different one? It's definitely cooler looking. Yes, okay. So we need to do this the proper way. Fine. Is this where the... I wonder if this is where the vendors will be. Or endgame gear. Like Yulmore was. Ooh, this is nice. Heading to Megaduta, are you? In any case, please follow this hallway to my right and go through the door at the top of the stairs. You'll emerge at the entrance to the airship landing, where another sentry should be on hand to assist you. Incidentally, if you ascend the steps to either side of me, you'll find the workshops of Revered of Fibers. Though you're free to observe the artisans, take care not to lose your way. Ah, Thavnarian weave. Hard to imagine more vibrant stuff. I dare say Emmerich would be partial to the gold thread. And the blue, of course. He loves his blue. I never put much thought into what I wear. A spare set of clothing is usually all I carry, and if that isn't enough, I can always obtain something locally. Ah, Estinian. Why do you have a box on your head? That's a player character. Why are you carrying a box? I see what you mean about... Well, I mean, it's not a huge maze, let's be honest. It certainly has maze-like qualities. Hold on. Ethernet shard. Yeah, I was worried that a lot of the colours were going to make it look meh. Airship landing. If you are here for an airship, I'm afraid all flights have been suspended until further notice. So, the state of alert is still in effect. Perhaps it's for the best. That aside, we're not here for an airship. We have business at Megaduta. Oh, in that case, permit me to direct you. From here, it's quite simple, really. Ascend these steps and then continue straight ahead and across the bridge. You cannot miss it. And therefore, I will. Oh, no, to be honest, even I can't screw that up. Dodos! Huh. Ah, I remember passing by here with Varshan. The situation being as it was, he regretted not being able to show us the sights. Life has yet to return to normal here, but when it does, you ought to pay another visit. Though the city is confusing, the food is quite good. I'm partial to humsa myself. The meat's surprisingly tender and flavourful. It's almost as if it can understand you, Estinian. There's people standing around here, so I'm assuming there's a quest in some point once our allies get here. Do. Onwards and upwards we go. Yes, it's quite a cool looking place. Yes, I suspect those are the endgame vendors. Who's that? Oh, is that one of the yokai things? Hello, Megaduta attendant. Greetings and welcome to Megaduta. May I inquire after your business? We are members of the Science of the Seventh Dawn. Come at the invitation of His Excellency. Ah, of course. We have been expecting you. I will show you into the audience chamber if you please follow me. I shall. Elephants! Why is Justinian's hair so jaggedy? Or maybe... don't know. Everybody else has got their updated hair. Hi, Vitra.
Are we the last to arrive? I hope we've not kept you waiting.
Yes, you have.
Not at all. Your comrade is feeling better, I trust.
Much better, thank you. Harness remedies are certainly potent, in more ways than one.
Are you off your face, Graha?
One becomes accustomed to the taste, although I hope you never have cause to do so. Pray, take your ease.
Hi.
Full glad I am to see you all unharmed.
He says to us specifically, gazing lovingly into our eyes.
Valiant scions, for your heroism, you have my boundless gratitude. You cast down that dire tower and set free its hapless captives. You cleanse their souls of its corrupting influence.
And yet people still don't recognize us.
No words of thanks will suffice. In place of platitudes, I offer a bounty of warding scales. Pray accept your due reward, along with the goodwill of Radzathan.
Cheers. Is?
Alchemists throughout the land were put to work in the forging of your talismans. The finished ones have been collected, and now await you at the High Crucible of Alchemia.
Alchemia.
Present this letter when you are ready to take them into your possession.
Cheers. Why are you giving him to Alphino? He's not our leader.
We are humbled by your generosity. Know that the inventive wisdom of Radzathan will be vital in restoring serenity to our star.
Why does it look like Alphino's face is dirty?
Every single one of those scales came from you, didn't they? You must still be in such pain.
Ooh.
'Tis of no moment. A mere annoyance compared to the dreadful suffering inflicted upon this land and its people.
Music fades out. Alphino's going to give a speech.
My involvement in the Dragon Song War
There we go.
afforded me a glimpse of the myriad sorrows which consumed both dragon and man. Though you were half a world away, such tragedies as befell your kin must have affected you deeply.
I was wondering when they were going to broach the subject of this.
And yet, you chose to live among men.
In the age when that conflict first bloomed, my choice had already been made. In some distant place, man slew dragon, and dragon slaughtered man.
So he'd already
Yet
come
no
here.
hate could I muster for those smiling faces which did look to me for guidance. Not even my brother's righteous rage could rally me to his cause. I huddled here, secret and still, hoping against hope that which I had built would remain untouched by the chaos and carnage.
I like the
Would seem we share
lingering
the
shots.
same desire for peace, great Vreeter.
Palestinian.
To that end, I wonder if we might trouble you with another question. The Telophoroi are intent on recreating the final days, an apocalyptic event which we know to predate the sundering of the star. As the longest lived among us, know you aught of this terrible cataclysm?
Well, he wasn't there for it. But
Nay. When war and strife drove my sire from his home, he crossed the great expanse with only our unhatched eggs.
because they're
as
from another
colonies.
planet.
He alighted upon a shattered source, its 13 reflections long since scattered beyond the rift.
And yet Vitra does know about it.
Of events preceding his arrival, he knoweth naught, save that which Hydralin hath deigned to disclose.
Can we go and ask him?
I see. So again, 'tis the inscrutable Hydaelyn to whom you must look for answers.
Answers.
Seek you to divine the will of this star? If so,
Oh?
I have a tale which may afford you some small comfort.
Oh? Do tell.
'Tis a story from my youth, many, many years ago. To my sire, I once posed the question, of all the stars in the sky, why didst thou settle upon this one? To which Midgardsummer did reply,
The last bastion of hope.
the last bastion of hope.
The last bastion of hope. So those were Midgardsummer's words.
He believed, so long as Hydaelyn endured, so too might dragonkind. Solemn and portentous were his words. What deeper meaning they held, I could not.
So
dare not
something
pursue.
was causing the dragons to
Tis a
die out?
stone I've left unturned ever since.
We need to go and talk to Midgardsummer.
Yet take you solace in the knowledge that whatsoever Hydaelyn does strive towards, 'tis an ideal which hath earned my sire's conviction.
That is true. They have worked together, even though, in Heavensward, Midgardsummer did kind of remove the blessing from us for a time.
Thank you, Vritra. You've given us warm reassurance in a world gripped by cold uncertainty.
Oh, how poetic, Ishtola.
While I'm sure we all have a great many questions, I think it's time we collect the talismans and be on our way.
Yeah, but what are we going to
Our
do?
fight against the Telophoroi is far from finished.
Nod.
We must take our leave, but please do inform us if we can provide any further assistance.
I love a little courtesy.
Prithee, a moment.
I thought that was going to happen. Does he know we've got Midgardsummer with us?
There is one whom my sire hath judged worthy of honor and respect. The one known to men as Eorzea's champion. This hero of renown and rumor, 'tis thee.
Yes. I've not spoken with your father in some time.
In accordance with the covenant he forged with Hydralyn, the stewardship of this star hath ever been his purpose. Silence in the face of thine actions is the greatest sign of his approval.
Oh, so it's only if we were going to screw up that he'd show up.
'Twas a revelation most pleasing that thou, a child of man, had gained amidst Godsummer's trust. But alongside mine elation runneth a rivulet of dread.
Oh?
For upon thy life's reel wind too many threads of fate, power, weal enmeshed with woe.
Yeah?
Amidst this tangled knot thou shalt know no rest. 'Tis an endless confluence of forces, a struggle without surcease.
Ain't that the truth?
More terrible still is the attrition wrought upon thy companions, as they are swept up in the storm of thine existence.
Like I said in the thoughts video, can't imagine they're all going to survive. Thanks, game. Thanks, game. Needed this. Yes, thank you for reminding us of all the many people that have died.
Take heart and protect them well. They will be your strength and your salvation. The hope that
Your salvation.
will lead come the end.
I think that, yeah, some kind of heroic death, quote unquote, at the end of this story, and then being bolstered by Hydaelyn to bring us back with the last of her power. I do kind of feel that that's where we're heading.
Even cowering behind my curtain, I know the suffering of the powerful. I have watched my siblings driven mad by loss.
Yeah.
Thus do I exhort thee to spare no effort to keep thy loved ones safe.
Apologies. We hadn't meant to interrupt.
But you have.
It's just that we do have a history of suddenly collapsing, and when you didn't follow us out...
'Tis I who must apologize. I have detained your champion overlong with idle chatter. Go. At war's end, I pray I welcome thee back into my hall, where together with thy joyful comrades, you may toast your triumph.
At war's end. Nod. I love that. Their excuse for coming back was the fact that we, as a general rule, do have a bit of a thing about collapsing thanks to the Echo. I assume that's what they were getting at. Apologies again. I hope we didn't force you to conclude your conversation prematurely. So, what were you and Richard talking about? You're so nosy, Ali. Nothing? Very well, if you say so. The others have gone ahead to the High Crucible. Let's catch up to them. Like his sister, Tiamat, Vitra is possessed of a gentle soul. I'm glad they're on our side. Yes. They said they'd gone to the Crucible, which is over there. So we have to go that way anyway. So let's start this next quest because we have time. And we're going to get some bread out of it. Oh, Archon loaf. The attendant was kind enough to give me directions to the High Crucible. First, let us return to the mulberry orchard. I mean, realistically, I could use the... Rom. It might have actually been faster to run that. Whatever. I understand the mulberries are for the silkworms. Grown a stone's throw away from the satrap's residence. It gives it the quintessential Thavnarian flair, don't you think? From here, we're supposed to follow the path left and past the mulberries. They're being a little bit more hand-holdy with the directions, I've noticed. I wonder if that's to make sure that we pick up the Ethernet shards. Huge. The word huge apparently means bind in the local tongue, and this district is so named because it connects all others in the city. If we manage to come this far, we shouldn't have trouble finding the High Crucible, or so I was told. Where the street turns, enter the door straight ahead, then descend the steps. I thought the Crystarium was confusing, but it doesn't compare to Razaz Han. The architecture and decorations make it even harder to get your bearings. Let's see where the door takes us. Yeah, so we're actually going to go past the Aetherites. I like the materials. Ooch. There's an Ethernet shard up here, in case you were thinking that I got lost. I have not. I can follow basic directions. While we were close. Attuning. Hall of the Radiant Host. So the Radiant Host were the guard, weren't they? The Royal Guard? The City Guard? It's raining. Not in game, here. It's 12:30 AM as well. Phew, seems we're on the right track. And here is the Aetherite Plaza. So far, so good, and there isn't much further to go. From here, we just need to cross to the other side of the hall, then pass through the larger of two doors. The High Crucible lies beyond. I suspect the others have already collected the warding scales. Come, let's join them. Well, that's not what I'm going to do, is it? I'm going to do this. Oh. Interesting. The Aetherite is still disabled. Are these... Oh no, these are collectibles. Scripts. Splendor's vendor. Oh, okay. So not. Oh, I suppose, now I think about it, it's going to be on the moon, isn't it? Our final vendor. Huh. That would, yeah, that would make sense. That, you know, there's going to be a city and the Mare Elementorum, isn't there? Probably. Although that would make them 3 cities, which might be a little bit much. Oh, we've got to go up and over the top to get to Karma. Do we? Do we? It's weird. After all that I said about Charlian and about how easy to navigate it was, it's almost like they've decided, well, we've given them a really easy to navigate city. Let's counter that with a city that seems to have more weird levels than the Crystarium. Wow, it's really hammering it down out there. What is this place for? Yeah, a lot of these places are just a little bit too empty right now. I'm wondering if that's going to change later on, because I cannot see the point of coming over here otherwise. You've attuned yourself to all the Ethernet shards at Razat-Han. And that's true, we have. But we don't have access to the main one. And I wonder why. That's odd. I assume there's a story. Story reason for it? Hi, folks. Oh, this land hath been afforded a respite. In turmoil do many others languish still. Our work is far from finished. You took your time. Got turned around, I take it? No? Ooh. What the frick is this? Sorry, guys. I'll be back in a sec. Oh, so this is the alchemist's home. This is the crucible, isn't it? That they were talking about. Wow. Those are some colours. That's really quite beautiful, actually. As I heard it, after you defeated Nidhogg, his scales found their way into the hands of the firmament's artisans. Steeped in power as they are, it's no surprise that they were coveted. Still, there's a strange legacy for the vengeful worm. And quite well now, I assure you. As they say, the stronger the taste and stranger the colour, the more effective the remedy. With my body trying to replenish the ether I spent, however, I'm feeling rather famished. I think a sampling of the local delicacies is in order. Hamsa cuisine would be a good place to start, perhaps. The students had previously turned to Razat-Han's alchemist for help with the analysis of various artifacts. That is how I became acquainted with Nadana. I'm glad we could rescue her, and pray she makes a full recovery. Me too. Excellent. You're in time to hear the latest good news. Oh. What an immense laboratory. How many such places were enlisted to help forge the warding scales, I wonder? We're last, of course, but at least we found the place.
These are the talismans we were promised.
Yes, and I made a quick count. There are far more than we could have hoped for.
What are we going to do with them all?
Enough to outfit an entire company of soldiers, in fact. Considering the involved process, that they were able to manufacture so many in such a short span of time is nothing short of a miracle.
Well, they are good at it.
Once we have distributed them to our allies in Eorzea and the Far East, we'll have a fighting chance to bring down the other spires.
This has got an end
Just
of
as
Act
we did
1
with the
feeling
Tower
to
of
it.
Zot.
Or we could use them to invade Garlemald proper, and strike directly at the Telophoroid's base of operations.
That's a rather dramatic...
Of course, we would need to consult with various alliance leaders before such a drastic measure could even be contemplated.
But it would make sense that Garlemald would be an export to call.
To which end, I could set out forthwith and present the idea to each of our allies in person.
Surprisingly direct of you, Stola. I think being a black mage has been good for you.
Pray allow me to undertake some few of those journeys. I find myself restless and in need of purposeful duties.
I can head eastward. Bosnia and Dalmasca are just a short hop from here. And Doma's shinobi network should come in handy for passing on the word.
We shall share the burden then. Meanwhile, I think it best that you and the others take the talismans back to the Baldessian Annex. We must keep them safe and secure until we've decided upon a course of action.
Nod.
Please, I must speak with you.
Oh, hey. Hello. How are you feeling?
Nidana, you're awake.
Yes. When I spoke with the carer at my bedside, she told me that one of the scions, a young woman, had cleansed me of the tower's corruption.
Well done, Ali.
It seems I'd been asleep ever since the treatment. But when I awoke and learned you were all still here, I knew I had to come.
As you said, Nidana was captured only recently. Such a brief exposure is swiftly cured, so I tended to her before we gathered at Megaduta.
Well done, Ali.
And I am truly grateful that you did. I cannot thank you enough. All of you, for everything you've done. Destroying the tower, rescuing our people. You've saved Thavnair from an awful fate.
Don't think we have, because isn't it Thavnair that gets set on fire? Ooh, a
Yet
smile.
who has truly saved whom? Due in no small part to thine inspirational courage, the alchemists were successful in reproducing warding scales of proven efficacy. Replications of thy work now stand ready to travel across the seas, unto the hands of those who might wield them against this rising evil.
The talisman? Is this true?
See? Nod. And then she destroys them all.
Oh, I was so groggy from sleep. I didn't even think to ask. Oh, our great work sent across the seas. It was worth it. Oh, it was all worth it.
Oh, there's so much more emotive. Uh-oh. Ah, the flower. It reacts.
Look at that! Its color is completely changed.
What do you have there?
I have a flower. It is a yellow.
How unusual. I wonder if the effect is a reaction to Akasha.
Akasha?
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with that term.
Akasha? It is one of the unseen energies defined by Harnish alchemical theory.
Okay.
Though a gross oversimplification, some describe it as an essence influenced by feelings.
Yes.
You imply that it is distinct from ether.
Foreign scholars often conflate the two, but we see them as separate concepts.
Interesting.
Ether is an energy which permeates the land. It exists within animals, objects, even the air we breathe, affecting all through which it flows.
Yeah. So that's the same as our definition.
Akasha, on the other hand, exists in a domain beyond our reach. A gift bestowed from on high, or torn from the heavens in some traditions.
Huh.
Akasha can neither be created nor destroyed. It is beyond our power to purposefully alter or manipulate.
So like the soul.
The only thing observed to influence it is an abundance of, I want to say, spiritual emotion. As a veteran of the battlefield, surely you've experienced moments of desperation or exaltation when you've transcended the usual limits of your capabilities.
Yes.
That is a manifestation of Akasha, the invisible essence harnessed by heart, mind, and unyielding spirit.
Is this an explanation of the limit break gauge?
I really must hear more about this theory. Our disciplines are based entirely upon the idea that ether is the fundamental form of all energy.
I'm glad my haphazard explanation has piqued your interest. But even for us, Akasha is a somewhat abstract field of study. A lack of practical application lends itself poorly to formalized research.
That is true. Abstract concepts and all.
Which is why my analysis of your flower can amount to little more than idle speculation. I am sorry.
Well, it's given us some idea, though.
Nonsense. You have nothing to be sorry for. Your insight is much appreciated.
Yeah, it's another petal to our flower. Terrible metaphor.
Shall we depart for Charlian, then? I will see to it that the talismans are in the annex.
Leaving Alphino with some responsibility. What is going on with these gloves? It's like this bit here. So why not just wear a whole glove?
And we will be in touch once our talks are concluded. I suggest you rest while you can.
Yeah, so
From here
this is a
onward,
definite
sleep
end
is
of
bound
Act
to be in
1.
short supply.
Urianger just randomly bowing to us. Or specifically to Graha. Or maybe to Kronil, I suppose. The last thing I remember before being absorbed into the tower was you rushing towards me. I can only imagine the hardships you and yours must have had to overcome to rescue us. No amount of words will suffice to express my gratitude, but I hope the flower's radiant glow says everything I cannot. That is very nice. Very nice indeed. Actually check out what was at the shop around here. Random stuff. Luxurious paper. Oh dear, my monitor's doing the thing where it starts turning itself on and off. It hasn't done that in a long while. So we're not going to be able to get back to here. Huh. Question. Can we get out this way? I suspect possibly not. No. This is going to put us in a certain place, isn't it? Yeah. So it's not allowing us to explore this part of the zone just yet. Okay. Let's head back to the annex and then wrap this act up. Then I think I'm going to have to take a break and possibly get some more sleep. We'll see. Oh, yawny. Oh. I just assumed that they were going to be in there. I've probably just walked straight past her, haven't I? I have. Well done, me. Good to be back, and with the fruit of our labours safely in storage. For now, we have but to wait for the others to return from their respective meetings with the Alliance leaders. As Thancred suggested, we should get some rest in the meantime. Ooh. Yeah, so this is definite end of Act 1. Welcome back, Damagen. Kyle has surprised me with her recent accomplishments. An amazing feat to eliminate a tower and pave the way to deal with the rest. While it isn't much, I've changed your sheets and plumped up your pillow. After all, there's nothing like collapsing in a nice clean bed after completing a major milestone, be it penning a thesis or defeating deiform entities. So, would you like to take a look at your new and improved lodgings now? Yes. And I get a loaf. Put that down next to the unending journey. Where's that pelican? Oh no, it's not going to be here, is it?
Take heart and protect them well.
Foreshadowing. Oh, it didn't take long for us to be interrupted.
Good, you're here. You haven't eaten yet, have you?
I haven't had a minute.
I've bought quite a spread if you're interested. Only the finest dining from the last stand.
Food's up. Burgers. Oh, they're showing off Kral's hair again. Oh dear Lord, that's... Food's tech. Okay, now they're just showing off.
Lest you wonder, we invited Estinian as well. But he refused with a rather grim-faced, "No, thank you." I suspect Charlian cuisine is not to his liking.
Oh, I don't know about that. Perhaps our lone wolf just needed some time apart.
Those are massive cookies.
What? To perfect his brooding stare?
He can probably hear you, you know.
Next time, I'll drag him out by the ear, sit him down in front of a Charlian feast, and see that he eats every last bite.
An excellent idea. Of all people, warriors must take proper meals and rest if they are to maintain a healthy constitution.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Alphino.
Poor Estinian, beset on all sides.
Not that you're biased. Graha's devouring that.
Speaking of one's physical condition, Mistress Kryl, I hear you recently played literal host to Heidelin herself.
Oh yes, that's a thing that we should probably talk about.
And what an experience that was. Tiring, yes, but no lasting harm done.
And many... I like the fact that the gherkin's still there on his plate.
I should have liked to speak with her longer.
She's got no power.
I've felt a hint of her presence since.
Heidelin instructed you to carry that flower, yes?
Yes.
Twill be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. And then something about seeking joy in darkness, was it? Come to think of it, isn't that what happened with Nidana back in Radzat Han? The flower did seem to radiate a joyful glow, as if reflecting the elation we all felt. The relief of
the
a
power of
with renewed
friendship.
hope.
Indeed. And in turn, I felt buoyed by that radiance. 'Twas akin to spotting a beacon and knowing we were on
That
the
salad
right
has got
path.
onions on it.
I know we've not yet triumphed over the Telophoroi, or learn.
No, we were reasonable ways away from that, I would imagine.
Plans. But even within the midst of our struggles, we find small moments of joy to sustain us.
Yes.
Rare and hard-won, perhaps, but it is this pursuit of happiness that gives us the strength to carry on day after day.
Thanks, Graha.
Hey, that's mine.
To the swift the spoils. Though I recall that levitation spell of yours was quick enough.
Only barely. And even at my best, I'm still too slow to wield it effectively in battle.
Well,
Mayhap I simply require more practice with this new magic.
well, yes.
You unearthed it from the depths of Numenon, I presume.
Aye, and from a veritable mountain of arcane tomes at that. 'Twas necessary to facilitate.
Oh, he's used it to sneak around.
Or, to put it simply, you used it to sneak around the Forbidden Archives.
Yes, well, after a fashion.
Is she holding the cookie out to him? Jammy Dodgers!
They're tall, you see. The shelves, they're too tall for me. And I could hardly move the library's platforms without attracting attention now, could I?
Oh.
What? That was a lot of food that they've put away. Though I suppose ether is draining, so... They've left a donut, mind you. The moon. You do know these are my quarters. Are we pushing on until dawn?
I'm not that ambitious. But 'tis pleasant to idle away the hours every once in a while.
True, we don't get a lot of that time. What? Green. Ba, ba, da, ba, ba. Do, do, do. Lovely. Oh. Oh, here we go. Definite end of Act 1. What are you up to, Xenos? And Daniel?
Ah! Enjoying the bracing cold, I see. Do you not own a warm coat or a cloak? Something in fur? Or fashioned from the skins of your enemies? Or... well, never mind that.
Okay, then.
I come to you once more as the bearer of bad news. Our tower in Thavnir has been toppled, and I need not tell you by whom. Given how many we have at our disposal, the loss of a single spire is hardly fatal to our plans.
Siphoning ether from the land.
It does, however, slow the rate at which we siphon the ether. If they continue to preoccupy themselves with the towers, then all will be well. But should our foe prove bold enough to strike at us here,
which is what we're planning on doing,
then the timing becomes questionable.
Our foe is bold enough. Of that, I can assure you.
Of that. Xenos talks like this.
Yes, very well then. I suppose I must prepare a proper welcome. Honestly, talk of your nemesis is the only thing you seem to enjoy. Does nothing else spark your interest?
Nope.
No. All else is
Equal.
equal. Equally tedious. Equally disappointing. The world is a tepid bog into which we sink, too weak to thrash as the mud clings to our eyes and fills our throats till we blissfully choke.
Amateur dramatics. The Ye Galvus way.
But then came the light, blinding and pure and hot, so very hot, enough to set my soul aflame. I basked in the afterglow until the void yawned once more, and then I knew the muck would never claim me again. There was naught for me ahead, so I drew the curtain on all that had come before. Burn, burn. Let the whole star burn. I will have my contest. I will reclaim my moment.
And then what? It just walks off.
How wonderful that the emptiness of death has not dissuaded you from committing your life to its pursuit once more. I don't know whether to envy you or pity you.
You question my disinterest, but what of yours? Despite your noisome antics, I sense you take little pleasure in this endeavor.
Called out.
Mercy, my lord. Such pointed barbs from one who barely acknowledges my existence. Nevertheless, you are mistaken. For I do find this part somewhat enjoyable. You see, when I was mortal, I would always have the same dream. It was a fragmented thing, disjointed. All the faces
When you were mortal as Amon.
The setting too was unknown to me. So I thought it simply a fantasy of my sleeping mind. Until one day, I realized it was showing me the truth. Much as your dream of the final days enlightened you.
Huh.
And soon, very soon, the rest of the world will see the truth of my dream too. Yes, I think that is something we can both enjoy.
Okay. Van Daniel is clearly off his rocker. But on wings of hope. Magus Resistor. Okay, I'm guessing yeah, so we've just got up to the level 82 quests and we're already level 83. Huh. Yeah, so we're clearly going to hit 90 well before we finish the MSQ at this rate. I'm not entirely sure what to make of those cutscenes. I do get the impression that there is more to Van Daniel than has been let on. Xenos is still as kind of two-dimensional as ever. One-dimensional, arguably. He wants his moment again. He's very much like a petulant child. He wants what he wants when he wants it, and he'll set the world ablaze, rather, in order to get it. Like a teenager that's been told that no, they can't untuck their shirts, or that they can't go to the toilet in class when they've asked. Yeah. the whole revelations about the final days, I think they need to play into that more. But again, if the next step is going to take us to Garlemald, then maybe we are going to get a good chunk more of it. But the kind of story of Act 1, as I'm going to call it, has been interesting. We've learnt a lot. I've got a load of things written down. We've got a lot of elements that may well turn into foreshadowing, or almost certainly foreshadowing of some kind. Certainly a lot of active questions raised. The true nature of what is going on with the Forum, for example, the real purpose of the towers, this idea of the last bastion of hope that the planet is for dragonkind. And of course the limb, the arm. It was an arm, wasn't it? I've written down limb here. The limb in the tower core. What are they of? I mean, that's a weird detail. So yeah, I guess we'll find out in the second act. Hopefully, you have enjoyed the playthrough so far, and will continue to join me for Act 2. Happy endwalking, folks, and I'll see you all in the next video. If you've enjoyed this one, do please leave it an old thumbs up down at the bottom. That'd be much appreciated. Helps the channel out, spreads the wealth of videos, because apparently people do watch these. And cheerio.
Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.